Andhra Loyola Institute of Engineering and Technology ALIET was established in the year 2008 by the Loyola College Society Guntur, Vijayawada to realize the Jesuit vision and with an aim to take technical education to students, especially to the underprivileged and the more deserving youth of the state. The institution is recognized by the Government of Andhra Pradesh and is affiliated to JNTU Kakinada. It offers 6 UG programs, Computer Science and Engineering with an sanctioned intake of 120 seats, Electronics and Communication Engineering with 120 seats, Mechanical Engineering with 120 seats, Electrical and Electronics Engineering with 60 seats, Civil Engineering with 60 seats, and Information Technology with 60 seats, adding up to 540 seats in the BTech. The vision of the college. In accordance with the Jesuit vision of higher education, ALIET imparts technical education in the realm of higher education with an integral formation which involves academic excellence, spiritual growth, social commitment, and value-based leadership. Mission. The mission of the Jesuit education at ALIET is to form men and women for others and mold them as global citizens possessing competence, conscience, and compassion. Special attention is given to the socially and economically marginalized students. The college has various physical facilities on the campus. As per AICT norms, the college has adequate ICT-enabled classrooms, seminar halls, interactive boards, etc. The faculty regularly makes use of them for effective teaching and learning. Internet facility. The college maintains high-speed internet connectivity with 300 Mbps bandwidth through the ACT FiberNet Corporation and BSNL. In addition, some of the classrooms are also upgraded to the wireless networks. Gymnasium and sports facility. Sports and games are essential part of education, and the institute has adequate facilities to support outdoor and indoor games. The Department of Physical Education encourages the students regularly to participate in intercollegiate, inter-university, state and national levels tournaments through meticulous planning and rigorous practice. We have a cricket ground, volleyball court, throwball court and a tennis court. For women, Kho-Kho and Kabaddi courts are also available, and they are used by many students every year. Gymnasium is also available in the institution to provide physical fitness. Library. The library is housed with 24,264 volumes of books covering all disciplines like engineering, science and humanities, management, English language and literature, soft skills and aptitude, etc. The library accommodates academic books, SC book bank, reference books, periodicals, project records, previous year's question papers, and so on. The library has subscribed to 75 national and international journals and magazines. It has subscribed to e-journals like IEEE Digital Library and Science Direct. A collection of e-books of Vidya is also available. The library has Delnet facility that allows users to borrow books from libraries of other institutions all over India who are members of Delnet. The library has also NDL National Digital Library membership and provides access to various e-resources. Counseling room. Along with academic and career development, social and personal development is also important. ALIET has a qualified psychologist with a PhD for dealing with difficult people and difficult situations. Ramp, wheelchair and infirmary facilities. Ramps are laid in both the blocks to facilitate mobility to the people with special needs. All the staircases are decked with railing for safety and security. The college has a wheelchair to comfort the sick and differently able students. RO filters and good number of washrooms. The college has RO and UV plants for providing pure drinking water. Utmost care is taken to regularly maintain the plant and clean the storage tanks. Canteen facility. The college has set up a canteen facility to provide breakfast, lunch and meals to the staff and students. The food is served at a reasonable price. The ambience of the canteen is kept clean and hygienic. Common room. ALIET has 3 separate common rooms available for girl students. A qualified nurse is permanently appointed to take care of sick girls during working hours. Sanitary napkin dispenser machine are in place in the girls' room and common room in the girls' restroom. Other facilities like solar panels is used for generating electricity to 100 kilowatts. We have one lift in our institution. The lift is used by the faculty members and in emergency cases, the students use as well. LED lighting, LED bulbs are used for power saving. These benefits serve the institution to a great extent for energy efficiency. Pedestrian-friendly roads. The green campus engenders a conducive and serene ambience, giving a flip to the learner's zeal and enthusiasm. The pedestrian-friendly roads are laid to keep the environment free from pollution. Apart from all these facilities, the Andhra Pradesh State Skill Development Corporation (APSSDC) has established a skill development center in collaboration with Siemens to train the students. Thousands of students have been trained so far. This is a milestone in the history of ALIET. The college was accorded the title of Chief Minister's Excellence Center by the Government of Andhra Pradesh since 2017. The APSSDC also established the Chief Minister's Excellence Center and the Salt Laboratory to impart training to the students. The college provides a learning and applying climate with a motto of service and excellence by forming men and women for others.
The Department of Science and Humanities offers 6 laboratories for first BTech students, namely English Communication Skills Laboratory, Physics Laboratory, Chemistry Laboratory, Computer Programming Laboratory, IT Workshop Lab, and Engineering Workshop Laboratory. The English Communication Skills Laboratory of the college has 2 parts, namely Communication Skills Lab and Language Lab. Students perform all the speaking skills activities like oral presentations, group discussions, and mock interviews in the Communication Skills Laboratory. The LCD projector in the laboratory is used to screen NPTEL lectures, YouTube videos, video lessons of the Let's Talk experts that include both Indian and foreign language teachers along with the students' PowerPoint presentations. By attending this laboratory, the students will be able to perform both individual and group tasks in various communicative activities that are necessary for lifelong professional growth. Language Laboratory is well equipped with 33 computers assisted with perpetually licensed software from Softex Solutions. This software includes audio-video lessons prescribed by JNTU Kakinada for the students belong to R16, R19 and R20 regulations. This laboratory provides the students with an opportunity to perform individual tasks on listening skills to improve their language proficiency. The Chemistry Laboratory of the department is fully equipped with the necessary chemicals, glassware and instruments. Students perform quantitative analysis by using volumetric titrations, that is, acid-base titrations, redox titrations, and complex metric titrations. With the help of pH meter, students analyze pH of the soft drinks, potable water, acids, and bases. By using conductivity meter, students calculate the concentration of the unknown samples based on its conductivity. Similarly, with the help of the potentiometer, students estimate the concentration of the acids, bases, based on their potential. Students analyze iron content in the food sample by using this colorimeter. These experiments enable students' qualitative and quantitative analytical skills that are necessary to acquire higher level learning. Physics laboratory is the basic science laboratory which is common for all the branches of first year, with facilities for the group of 30 students to carry out experiments independently. This laboratory enables students to understand the fundamentals of physics. Experiments performed in the physics laboratory play a significant role in understanding the concepts taught. Well-labeled charts and laboratory manuals for all the experiments facilitate easy reference and aid students to execute the experiments. Physics laboratory involves studying, testing, and measuring of optical, electrical, and magnetic phenomena. Major equipment in physics lab are Hall effect, dielectric constant, resistivity of semiconductors, band gap of diode, Stewart gauge apparatus, Newton's ring apparatus, spectrometer, etc. In addition to this, the students are provided with an opportunity to perform these experiments on digital platform in virtual laboratory. Computer Programming Laboratory is introduced to the first BTech students to the field of programming using C language. It is fully equipped with 40 systems with configuration of Acer 8.5 LED monitor, dual-core processor, 2 GB RAM and 500 GB hard disk. By attending this laboratory, students will be able to enhance their analyzing and problem-solving skills and also use the same problem-solving skills for writing programs in C language. IT workshop prescribed for first BTech students imparts basic computer usage and maintenance skills. It introduces a suite of productivity tools that aid the students to do their day-to-day activities. The laboratory enables the learners to make the best use of Microsoft Office suite in their day-to-day requirements. The IT workshop lab prepares the students to have a hands-on experience in maintaining and troubleshooting the personal computer by themselves. Engineering workshop is offered to first BTech students where they perform experiments in 5 trades, namely carpenting, tinsmithy, fitting, house wiring, and blacksmithy. Students will be able to select appropriate equipment and consumables for required application and apply knowledge of thoughts required for getting an object in expected shape and size. Students will be able to analyze the material based on their properties for getting the recognized shape. They also will be able to understand the amount of cutting forces applied while working on the wood material. By attending this laboratory, students will be able to recognize the importance of safety while dealing with all trades.
Department of Information Technology is well equipped with laboratories which provide ample opportunities for the students to develop their computing skills. We have highly configured systems with high-speed internet facility and all the systems are connected in local area network. All the laboratories are equipped with latest equipment to meet the requirements of the curriculum prescribed by the affiliated university. All the labs are air-conditioned and fully furnished, having sufficient natural light and good ventilation. Out of the available systems, 64 systems are having high configuration, and the configuration is like i5 processor with 7th generation, 8 GB RAM and 1 terabyte hard disk capacity. All the operating systems and application softwares used in the lab are of open source softwares. Among them, we use open source operating system Ubuntu 14.04 and Umbrello Open Java are the examples of application softwares. Additionally, we have program specific facilities such as APCM's Skill Excellence Center funded by Andhra Pradesh state government with highly configured laptops having i5 processor 7th generation, 16 GB RAM and 1 TB hard disk capacity. We have smartboard facility which will be helpful to enhance student understanding of concept, R&D center for research, publication and projects for both students and faculty, NPTEL videos available in the local area network for the students and faculty to access the videos by IIT professors in the LAN. We have 2 high-end IBM RAID servers along with 2 backup servers to run JNTUK online quiz examinations. Uninterrupted power supply, UPS of 20 kVA capacity with 45 minutes backup along with 100 kV generator facility is available. In addition to that, we also have NPTEL server for local streaming of videos, attendance server and fees collection server. We also have sufficient safety measures in the lab like cables and wires are protected by casing and MCB, fire extinguishers and first aid kit are available in each lab. All the list of experiments in the curriculum prescribed by the affiliated university, safety instructions for students in the lab, system configurations and models prepared by the students are displayed in all laboratories.
In the Department of Computer Science Engineering, we have total 292 desktops. The systems are arranged in 12 academic labs as well as the labs created under additional facilities. All labs are well equipped with good ambience and they are installed with CC cameras, fire extinguishers. First of all, I would like to introduce Data Structures through C++ lab. This lab is mainly used to provide the students the knowledge of basic data structures and their implementations, make them understand the importance of data structures in the context of writing efficient programs to develop skills to apply appropriate data structures in problem solving. Python Programming Lab. This lab is used to train the students to have basic knowledge of Python, develop and implement various programs in Python. Advanced Data Structures Lab. This lab is mainly intended to make the students understand the algorithms and its analysis procedure, to design and implement various advanced data structure algorithms, to introduce various techniques for representation of the data in the real world, compute the complexity of various algorithms. Java Lab. In this lab, students learn basic programming in the Java programming language, knowledge of object-oriented paradigm in the Java programming language, the use of Java in design and development of various applications. UML Lab. This lab provides a formal basis for understanding the modeling language, provides the students with a ready-to-use expressive visual modeling language. Students can develop and exchange meaningful models. DBMS. This lab helps the students to understand the practical applicability of database management system concepts, working on existing database systems, designing of databases, creating relational database. Network Programming Lab. In this lab, students practice the linking computing devices together with hardware and software that supports data communications across these devices. Software Testing Lab. So the purpose of having this lab is to verify and validate a software and to find the defects present in a software. DWDM Lab. The data mining laboratory course is designed to exercise the data mining techniques such as classification, clustering, pattern mining, etc. with varied data sets and dynamic parameters. Software architecture and design patterns. So this is to construct UML diagrams for static view and dynamic view of the system. Web Technology Lab. This lab refers to the means by which computers communicate with each other using markup languages and multimedia packages. It gives us a way to interact with hosted information like websites. Web technology involves the use of hypertext markup language and cascading style sheets. The last lab is Operating System and Linux Programming Lab. This lab introduces operating system concepts to the students. Students also learn how to handle different controlling mechanisms in operating system. Under additional facilities created, we have Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister's Skill Enhancement Center. We are happy to say that Government of Andhra Pradesh established a lab to train the students as per the industry requirements. Training is given to the students on emerging technologies like AWS, IoT, cyber security. This lab facilitates the students to carry out mini projects too. Research and Development Lab. R&D Lab aims to nurture research culture in the college by promoting research in newly emerging and challenging areas of computer science engineering. This enhances the general research capability of students
by way of participating in conferences, seminars, workshops, project competition, etc. Project Lab. This lab facilitates the students to carry out the main projects as per the curriculum under the guidance of the faculty.
The Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering is equipped with the state-of-the-art experimental setup to perform experiments over and above the curriculum and computational facilities. The lab facilities are upgraded from time to time and provide adequate opportunities for students to develop innovative ideas. Electronic Devices and Circuits Lab is offered to second-year BTech ECE students, and it is specially designed for the students to observe the characteristics of various electronic devices. This lab is well provided with equipment like cathode ray oscilloscopes, digital oscilloscopes, regulated DC power supplies, function generators, and analog digital meters of a wide range. This lab gives practical observation on different basic applications of electronic devices, gives a good foundation on electronic devices to the students in the initial years. At the end of the semester, the student will handle any basic level electronic circuits. We also encourage students to take mini projects by providing them with the required components. Electronic Circuit Analysis Lab is offered to BTech second-year ECE students, and it is specially developed for the students to analyze various amplifier circuits, oscillators, and power amplifiers. This lab is well provided with equipment like cathode ray oscilloscopes, regulated DC power supplies, function generators, decade capacitance box, and analog digital meters of a wide range. This gives a good foundation on analysis of electronic circuits with the help of hardware and software. Analog and Digital Communications Lab. The Communications Lab presently serves to give the ECE students a laboratory experience in analog and digital communication system. The concepts of all types of modulation and demodulation can be studied. The recent communication techniques can be demonstrated with available equipment. Students conduct experiments in Communication Lab where they become acquainted with oscilloscopes, signal generators, and spectrum analyzers. Pulse and Digital Circuits Lab. This lab is specially designed and developed for the students to observe the characteristics of various electronic circuits that use linear and non-linear components. This lab is well provided with equipment like cathode ray oscilloscopes, digital oscilloscopes, function generators, IC testers, and digital multimeters. This lab gives practical observation and response of electronic circuits that uses different devices. This gives a good foundation to students to get exposure on the functional characteristics and response of electronic devices. At the end of the lab course, the student will able to handle any electronic circuit and apply its application in designing digital circuits. Linear Integrated Circuits and Applications Lab. This lab provides the practical knowledge on operational amplifier applications like arithmetic circuits, filters, and oscillators. Also provides knowledge on IC 555 timer and IC 723 regulators. Digital IC Applications Lab offered to BTech third-year ECE students, and it is specially designed and developed for modeling of combinational and sequential logic circuits using VHDL or Verilog, and implementation of digital circuits on Xilinx FPGAs. The lab is well provided with equipment Xilinx ISC System Edition 14.7 Advanced Z20 development boards. This lab gives a practical observation on design of CMOS logic gates using PySex schematic editor and digital system implementation on advanced zinc boards. Digital Signal Processing Lab is offered for ECE BTech programs. It is very important in academic curriculum for students to understand response of the systems for various signals in time domain and frequency domain. The objective of this laboratory is to study the signals and systems in real-time applications. This lab is well equipped with advanced software and hardware equipment to extract the valued information from signals in the fields of image processing and communications. Microprocessors and Microcontrollers Lab. The Microprocessors and Controllers Lab is a key programming language and hardware laboratory for BTech ECE students, and it is specially designed and developed for the students to give knowledge and practical exposure on 8086 processors and 8051 controllers. It provides intensive practical exposure in the fields of microprocessors and controllers. This lab supports interfacing the microprocessor and microcontroller with peripherals like LED displays, keyboards, DIAC, ADC, stepper motors, other devices, and practical experiments. Microwave and Optical Communication Lab offered to BTech ECE students and concentrates on introducing the advances in communications. This lab is well equipped with all the microwave devices. The laboratory conducts practical sessions to enable the students to implement their theoretical knowledge and observe the practical results. Lab deals with the measurements of the signals at microwave frequency range. It involves measurement of frequency, wavelength, VSWR, impedance and scattering parameters of various microwave devices like circulator, direction coupler, magic T, even the latest trend of communication technology, that is, fiber optics, is also introduced, and propagation conditions will be verified by evaluating the losses. Very large-scale integration design lab is offered to BTech ECE students, and it is specially designed and developed for the students to learn about modeling of CMOS logic circuits like combinational and sequential logic circuits, analog amplifiers using Mentor graphics tools. This lab is well provided with Mentor graphics backend tools for circuit level modeling using PySix schematic editor, layout editor, Calibre for verification. This lab gives practical observation on design of different basic analog IC blocks from schematic to layout. This gives a good foundation on analog IC design.
The Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering is equipped with 8 regular curriculum-oriented laboratories and 4 additional laboratories to train the students according to industry needs. The Electrical Circuit Analysis Lab. The lab is meant for second-year BTech first semester Electrical and Electronics Engineering students. In this lab, the students can verify the electrical network theorems like Thevenin's theorem, Norton's theorem, superposition theorem, reciprocity theorem, Milliman's theorem, etc. and also can find two-port network parameters, choke coil parameters, resonance both in series and parallel circuits, three-phase power measurement using 2-watt meter method for both leading and lagging networks. In this lab, to verify these theory concepts practically, we have CROs, function generators, regulated power supplies, breadboards, wide range of resistors, decade resistance boxes, decade inductance and capacitance boxes, digital ammeters, digital voltmeters, multimeters, etc. After completion of the lab, the student will gain confidence in using these theorems in learning and solving core subjects like power systems, electrical machines, power electronics, control systems, etc. related to problems. Electrical Simulation Lab. It is meant for 4th year BTech Electrical and Electronics Engineering students in first semester. Here students will verify the theory concepts using MATLAB software. For this purpose, the lab is equipped with 40 computers of Acer version M200, G41 Intel Pentium Dual Core 3.2 GHz, 2 GB DDR3 RAM, 500 GB hard disk, 120 keys keyboard, 2 buttons optical mouse with LED monitor. For the purpose of demonstration of each experiment, a projector with the projector screen is used. For doing the university prescribed experiments, MATLAB licensed software is installed in the systems. In this lab, students will perform experiments related to power systems, power electronics, control systems and electrical circuit concepts. After completion of this lab, the students are able to implement these simulation concepts in doing their final year projects and also in their further research. Power Systems and Simulation Lab. It is meant for 4th year BTech first semester electrical and electronics engineering students. In this lab, some of the major equipment are tongue tester. It is the device used for measuring transmission line currents. Transformer oil testing device to determine the dielectric strength of the transformer oil. Sequence impedance of 3-phase transformer trainer kit to perform hardware experiments. And to perform software related power systems experiments, licensed MATLAB 2015A software is used. After completion of this lab, students are able to implement these concepts in doing their final year projects and in their future research. Power Electronics Lab. This lab is meant for 3rd year BTech electrical and electronics engineering students in their 2nd semester. The main objective of this lab is to understand the operation of various power conversion devices, which includes the basic devices like MOSFET, IGBT, SCRs and their triggering and communication techniques. With the help of these devices, we can analyze the operation of single-phase, 3-phase converters, buck-boost and buck-boost converters for various resistive and inductive loads. The minor equipment required to observe the output parameters are CROs and multimeters. After completion of this lab, the students are able to implement these power electronic conversion devices for doing their final year projects. Control Systems Lab. This is the lab meant for 3rd year first semester BTech electrical and electronics engineering students. The main objective of this lab is to illustrate the control of different electrical equipment like AC servo motor, DC servo motor, DC position control system and also to design the compensation circuits, transfer function of armature controlled DC motor and separately excited DC generator. After completion of this lab, students are able to analyze, design and implement these concepts practically. Electrical Measurements Lab. This lab is meant for 3rd year first semester electrical and electronics engineering students. The major equipment of this lab are single phase energy meter of 250 volts 5 ampere rating, dynamometer type power factor meter, Kelvin's double bridge, Sharing and Anderson bridge, LVDT module and LPF watt meter. After completion of this lab, students are able to measure 3-phase reactive power and standardize various PMMC, ammeters, voltmeters and wattmeters. Electrical Machines 1 Lab. This lab is meant for 2nd year, 2nd semester electrical and electronics engineering students. In this lab, the major equipment are DC shunt motors, DC motor generator sets, DC compound motor, single-phase transformers. The minor equipment are rheostats, MI and MC ammeters, wattmeters, voltmeters and 3-point starters. After completion of the experiments in this lab, the students are able to assess the performance and determine the efficiency of DC motors and generators. And they will also determine the equivalent circuit parameters, regulation and efficiency of transformers, and they will also do the conversion of 3-phase to single-phase supply using Scott connection of transformers. Electrical Machines 2 Lab. The lab is meant for 3rd year first semester electrical and electronics engineering students. In this lab, the students will perform an experiment on single-phase and 3-phase induction motors and will also find the speed of 3-phase induction motor and speed control using V/F method. Students will also predetermine the regulation of 3-phase alternator by using various techniques and will also calculate the reactance of salient pole alternator. Students will determine the efficiency of alternator by loading with 3-phase induction motor. After completion of this lab, the students will able to perform various performance-oriented experiments on AC machines.
Department of Mechanical Engineering is facilitated with adequate and well-equipped laboratories. Department of Mechanical Engineering contains 12 regular laboratories, namely Simulation Lab, Heat Transfer Lab, Machine Tools Lab, Metrology and Instrumentation, Thermal Engineering, Production Technology, Fluid Mechanics and Hydraulic Machinery, Mechanics of Solids and Metallurgy, Theory of Machines, Mechatronics, and Computational Fluid Dynamics Laboratory. All labs are assisted by competent technical staff with thorough knowledge of various experiments and procedures. Students are encouraged to make maximum use of labs for conducting their project works during and beyond class hours. Additional laboratories in association with APSSDC Siemens for improving the quality of learning experience in Dassault System Laboratory, Applied Robotics Control, CNC and Welding Laboratories. Heat Transfer Lab. This lab in Department of Mechanical Engineering facilitates and provides good number of experiments based on natural convection, forced convection, emissivity, concentric sphere, thermal conductivity of metal rod, determination of heat transfer rate through a lagged pipe, critical heat flux, composite wall, parallel and counterflow heat exchange, pin-fin apparatus, drop-wise and film-wise condensation, and finally Stephen-Boltzmann experiment. Machine Tools Laboratory. This lab provides students 3 lathe machines, 1 all-gate lathe machine, radial drilling machine, shaper, milling, slotting machine, hacksaw machine, surface grinding, and tool cutter grinder. Metrology and Instrumentation Lab. This lab provides various equipments and apparatus which include tool maker's microscope, sine bar, sine center, bevel protractor, gate tooth vernier, vernier depth gauge, floating carriage micrometer, thread measuring wire set. And some of the experiments under instrumentation include pressure gauge, LVDT, strain gauge, thermocouple, capacitive transducer, seismic gauge, and McLeod gauge. Thermal Engineering Laboratory. This lab facilitates various experiments which include internal combustion 4-stroke slow-speed diesel engine with row brake dynamometer, internal combustion 4-stroke diesel engine test rig with DC generator, 2-stage twin-cylinder air compression test rig, flash and fire points, viscosity test, single-cylinder variable compression ratio petrol engine, and multi-cylinder petrol engine. In addition to these apparatus and equipments, cut models of the engines and boiler models are available. Production Technology Laboratory. Department of Mechanical Engineering provides wide number of practical exposure in spot welding, injection molding, permeability testing, universal strength machine, TIG, arc and blow welding, and hydraulic press. Fluid Mechanics and Hydraulic Machinery Laboratory. Department of Mechanical Engineering facilitates fluid machine and hydraulic equipments, namely venturimeter, Francis turbine, centrifugal pump, impact of jets on vanes. Mechanics of Solids and Metallurgy Laboratory. Department of Mechanical Engineering helps the students to learn various experiments on mechanics of solids and metallurgy lab, which includes universal testing machine, Rockwell and Brinell hardness testing machine, Izod and Chappie impact, torsion testing, spring test, simply supported and cantilever beam test, single disc polishing machine, hand grinder, metallurgical microscope, and mounting press. Mechatronics Laboratory. Department of Mechanical Engineering provides a good source of learning the updated laboratory information. Students will be able to learn about water level control using PLC program, lift control module using PLC program, conveyor using PLC program, traffic lights using PLC program, strain gauge, LVDT, and amplifier. Computational Fluid Dynamics Laboratory. Department of Mechanical Engineering emerging in updations of the laboratory, and one of the laboratory is Computational Fluid Dynamics Laboratory. This laboratory is facilitated with 36 computer systems, and students will able to learn the program in C, MATLAB, and perform various analysis in ANSYS Workbench. Theory of Machines Laboratory. Department of Mechanical Engineering introduced, according to the curriculum of JNTU, a new laboratory, Theory of Machines Lab. In this, students will be able to learn whirling speed of the shaft, governor, universal governor basics, motorized governor, equivalent spring mass system, static and dynamic balancing of rotating masses, moment of inertia of flywheel, cam and follower equipment, single slider crank mechanism, simple and compound screw jack, and coefficient of friction between belt and pulley. Simulation Laboratory. Department of Mechanical Engineering introduced another lab, and it is well equipped with computer systems, CNC milling machine. This lab helps the students to learn, to do and to perform various analysis using ANSYS Workbench and other softwares. Additional laboratories for improving the quality of learning experience in laboratories. Some of the laboratories are established in collaboration with APSSDC Siemens are Dassault Systems Laboratory, Applied Robotics Laboratory, CNC Laboratory, and Welding Laboratory. Dassault Systems Laboratory. This lab is established in collaboration with APSSDC Siemens. In this lab, students will learn about CATIA, Delmia, Similia softwares, which helps the students in computer-aided design, computer-aided manufacturing, and computer-aided engineering. This lab helps the students industry-ready in the field of aerospace, defense, automotive, and shipbuilding on the 3D Experience platform. In this lab, students try to learn modeling, create 3D figures, and perform various analysis. CNC Laboratory. This lab is established in collaboration with APSSDC Siemens. This lab provides basic and intermediate training on ANSYS, AutoCAD, and CNC lathe. Students will be able to learn how to program and can perform machining on the CNC lathe and also milling machines. Welding Laboratories. These laboratories are established with the help of APSSDC Siemens collaboration. This lab helps the students to bridge the gap between academics and industry interaction. This lab helps the students to involve in industrial training and various project activities. TIG welding, MIG welding, arc welding, gas welding, spot welding, and gasketing are provided in this laboratory. Applied Robotics Control Lab. This lab is established with the help of APSSDC Siemens collaboration and also Germany. In this Applied Robotics Control Lab, 2 IGUS robots, one with magnetic gripper and vacuum gripper, are available. In this lab, students will be able to learn RoboStudio software, and it helps in learning pick and place programming.